Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? Hey, any youngers, it's me, your host, Jen Glantz. What is up? I'm recording this episode from my couch. My stomach is currently filled with pizza. I wish you could see me right now. Yeah, I'm wearing pants. No, they're not buttoned or zipped. You know what that feeling is like when you just consumed a heavenly amount of something so good, but your clothes are like, oh no, you did not prepare us for this. It's summer. I should just wear dresses and skirts. It's easier to just stuff my belly with stuff. Regardless, hey, what's going on? I have to be completely honest with you. The week has flown by. I've been so busy that I forgot to record an episode this week. So I post these episodes secretly midnight on Friday morning. So I am recording this at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday. And why am I being so transparent with you? Because a lot of people want to know how us podcasters do it. How do we put out episodes week after week after week and never miss a beat? And let me tell you, sometimes that means waking up at 11:30 p.m. and realizing you did not record it and recording an episode. And sometimes that means having 5 episodes already scheduled to go live. That's the thing. You have to promise consistency with any project you start. A book, a blog, a podcast, whatever it is. Promise that consistency, and then you have to make it work. Because when you start something, you can't be the one to give up on it. You work so hard to get things up and running and getting started, and then they're live, and a week, a month, a year later, you just get lazy or tired, or your schedule gets too busy and you forget. I did not want that to happen with this podcast, and that is something that I make a promise to you, to myself, to every single episode. So I'm really happy that I'm here talking to you about this topic because it actually feeds into the topic of tonight, which is all about giving up on yourself. And this is a topic that I want to talk about because over the past couple of weeks, I had this personal trainer come and start working with me. And I met him because I took a CrossFit class with my fiance, Adam. And I really liked how this trainer was dealing with me. I'm like the worst person in workout classes because I don't like when people give me direction, and I don't like when people tell me what to do, and I also don't like when people correct me. So this trainer I actually liked because I liked how he talked to me, I liked how he handled me, and we just got along really well. So I convinced him to start giving me some personal training lessons on the side, and it's been a game changer because during one of our first personal training sessions, something happened that completely changed my perspective on myself, my strength level, and also on the fact that, oh, wow, Jen, you give up on yourself way more than you ever thought. So we're at my gym, and he's telling me, oh, and by my gym, by the way, I mean the gym in my building. I don't personally have an apartment in New York City big enough for even a 5-pound weight. That would just take up more space than we have, but the building that I currently live in for the next month in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, has a gym. So he's over there, and one of the things we have to do is run on the treadmill, which I'm not a runner. I don't like it. I try. The last 5K I ran, I barely crossed the finish line. I actually gave up 10 feet before the finish line and just walked across it. I was just over it. And here we are running and running and running, and I'm like visibly trying to give up. I'm lowering the speed on my treadmill. I'm grabbing onto the arms of the treadmill, just trying to like brace myself for this process. And the trainer looks over at me and he says, Jen, there's something in cars called a governor. And I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And I wasn't paying attention. I could care less about what he was saying. So he's like, do you know what that means? And I was like, to be honest with you, no, I have no idea what that means. And is it something that's going to help me run faster without pain? Because that's all I care about right now. And he says to me, it's a part of a car that keeps you from going too fast. Our body has one of those too. It stops us from pushing ourselves when really we can continue on. And I thought that was something so interesting to think about because I am infamous for stopping short when it comes to workouts. I'm the person who, when I get bored at a workout class, I walk out. And I'm sorry if you're a workout teacher, that must be really offensive to you, but it's not about you. I just get bored and I go. I've laid on so many gym mats at my gym just watching YouTube videos over doing ab workouts. I have just always given up when it comes to strength training and working out. I'm lazy. I don't push myself at all. And I just want to fix it. I don't want to be that person that when the trainer's counting down from 10, I stop at 3. I don't even make it to the last one. So I asked him while we were running on the treadmill and I was out of breath, I said, okay, so what do you do when your body is literally telling you stop right now because everything hurts, you can't breathe, and you don't want to go on anymore? And I guess when I asked that question, I hope he'd be like, oh, well, when you feel like that, Jen, you just stop. But obviously he didn't. He looked at me dead in the face, sweat dripping all over him, all over me, and he said, you keep going. Our workout was a total of 55 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours. We did one workout that by the final round, I actually thought about crawling out of the gym and hiding in a bush, hoping that he wouldn't see and never find me or speak to me again. I thought about cursing him out. I thought about just hysterically crying, throwing a temper tantrum, and part of that I did. I actually did cry, but it blended in with my sweat so nobody saw. And constantly, when I was about to give up and I was about to stop, he would say to me, Jen, remember your governor. And after the workout, I was like, look, I know I was a baby inside of there, but one thing you should know about me is that I'm so mentally strong in every aspect of my life. And I opened up to him. I told him about a lot of the things I've struggled with and how I feel like I'm a really strong person in so many other ways. Like, I've had crazy, disastrous things happen in my life, and I'm doing more than I ever thought I could. And even through it all, and I told him that. And he said to me, how can you be mentally strong in other areas of your life if you give up so often when it comes to your body? And being the stubborn person I am, I wanted to scream back like, you don't know me, how dare you say that? But it hit me so hard because I thought to myself, you know what? He's probably right. Like, maybe I do think I'm mentally strong in some areas, but come on, there's such a long list of things I've personally given up on myself, or I've stopped too short on things that I knew I can continue on, or even when I did feel so mentally strong in my struggles, I forgot about those times where I did temporarily give up, and I did treat myself pretty badly. For the past week or so, I've been telling myself, Jen, you can't give up on things so easily. Remember your governor. Remember that we could always keep going on. We just have to fight against the feelings, the thought, the ideas that we're weak. Who's called you weak in your life? I bet you have. When are you going to stop? Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode. I'm so glad you're here. By the way, if you're in Los Angeles on September the 7th, we're having a meetup. So come hang out with us right now in the You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group. Join it. You'll see all the event details for that. Plus, we have a book club going on. So if you're into that and you want to be part of the virtual book club, come hang out with us in the Facebook group. And also, you know how I'm going to end this. Just take your phone and scroll down, hit the stars button, give us a review on iTunes. It keeps this podcast free and easy and happening week after week for you. I'll catch you next week. Our guest, Hannah, is an author of 2 rom-com books, and we are going to talk about what it is like to date in 2019 and also how to get through all the craziness and fakeness that lives on social media. See you then. Hey, you. Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, anyyounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. Oh, and join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives, for a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.